At this stage, I don't think there's a way for Fuentes and America First really to get out of becoming Catholic Tate Bros. They're going to have to take on. They're going to have to. The only thing that really Nick Fuentes could possibly do to rescue the America First movement is to start doing things that make it that there is a Christian physical culture movement attached to it. That there's some kind of hashtag, some kind of goal to achieve certain, feats of strength, this, that, and the other. And the main reason why is because it's just, at this stage, they're visually just not impressive enough. Also, that at some point this is going to start ending up showing in just their ability. Like, the more you physically train in your 20s, like when you're training and you're learning, you actually are sharpening both ends. You're sharpening both sides of the blade. And that's why, like, during that period of time, like you see in like a boot camp, or why teachers are so hard on young monks, that sort of this, you really wouldn't believe kind of the amount, the sheer amount of energy that you have at that time of life compared to any time later. It's just, there's no, I wish they bottled it. But, so that's why I suggest to you guys, you should start really considering that because you see the YMCA now is advertising for, be happy for the Lopcocks, and Lopcock children are children too, and all kinds of stuff, and everybody is deeply, secretly gay, that's the posters they have up in the windows. So there is no more Christian physical culture in the United States outside of their own schools or their own sports leagues, but at some point you need something that's post-collegiate and has nothing to do with schools. That's what makes it then a community thing. So that was one thing I was thinking about. And then something else, I just started racking up kind of, so how successful, now that Leah Thompson, this dude in a dress is who's supposedly the greatest female swimmer ever, a dude in a onesie or whatever, in a tuck suit. What's the score at the end of all of this? Like, so at this stage, every city where there was some kind of chapter, they were on Twitter, where the blah 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 city chapter of Antifa and da-da-da, and we're opposing the Trumpsters and stuff. So what did you end up getting by the end of this? So you've lost so many people in Oregon, in the greater Seattle area. The greater Seattle area, they've all moved to the suburbs. So you literally hemorrhaged people to the suburbs. So you've done almost exactly the opposite. Like, there's almost nothing less punk rock than that. Like, yeah, we made the city so fucking awful that, like, people just don't want to live there. So they took, like, all their money, because, like, fuck money, bro. And, like, they went to, like, the suburbs, and they bought a house, like, in a suburb instead. And, like, now they just come to the city and go, look at that fucking loser. Drinking Pabst. Listening to an ass flap band. And so then so I'm like, okay, so Antifa lost there. They've actually empowered investment in the suburbs. And soon I was like, okay, at some point we're going to get the infrastructure story of the century. Like, this is a nightmare nightmare story, right? We're going to get it. And I'm like, there's not many areas that have infrastructure that I think, and then ding, 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 it came on today, almost $1 billion a year. The MTA can't match its bills by almost $1 billion a year. So that's the New York subway system, or a portion of it. The New York subway system is already, I mean, they have leaks and floods now, about once a year. Now, they have hemorrhaged so many people. They've hemorrhaged some of the largest companies in the world. So really what this really comes down to is actually the angry black people and Antifa. How does this feel? How does this feel that now, what did you build? Where's Antifa town? Where I want to see the great temple to the black woman is God, the black goddess in Blackistan, in Blacksville, Brownsville. I don't care what kind of ville. I just want to see it. Nappy Town, whatever you're going to call it. New Africa, Wakanda ton, you know, Gangster's Paradise, whatever you're going to call it. I want to see it. You motherfuckers didn't build shit. You know, you didn't build shit. And then, so let's see what else from the Antifa end of politics. Oh yeah, so the Democrats were openly supporting the open discrimination against Asians. So, for some reason, this is consistent. The idea that you can bully Asian people or blame them like they're in the club with the white people who have gotten to work on time and did their homework. Now, these are apparently two groups of people that are at fault for something. Now, I don't know exactly for what, being that in my upbringing, being half black, most of the people I was in class with were Asians and white people who showed up on time and did their homework. But apparently, that is not like the Antifa end of experience. They were raised around something very different, and they think that should be normal. So, another, let's see more of how the score is going for these guys. Portland has lost so much business that very, very soon, I figure it'll be in 2024, we're going to start hearing about the same issues of not being able to insure businesses there, or that the insurance for houses there is like super high. Most likely there will be an attempt by the legislature to deal with such issues, and it will only exacerbate it. I really do foresee Oregon really becoming this place that the left just keeps quadrupling down on getting more and more and more involved in everything at all times to try to fix the problems they already started, and that and they just won't accept that really the best thing they could do is just simply not exist as political people, and just accept it and just go to work. Just don't vote and go to work, you assholes. And yeah, so something that really has also I've been rolling around in my mind is this idea of traditionalism, or like the liberals versus what. And so I guess this would be something that I'd have to do more of, that looking into John Locke or reading up on Hobbes or something like that to really like nail some ideas and stuff. But it's just that more and more I'm starting to see there's sort of this idea that, oh, the traditionalists don't really exist, or there's no such thing as the conservatives, or they're this group that's to be blamed or something like that. Or really more and more what we're seeing is that the liberals don't really, it doesn't mean anything. The liberals just actually sort of have a number of issues that it seems it's like, well, no, once we mess with that just makes society spiral into chaos even faster, which seems to be the goal. where the traditionalists are like, that's a really bad idea. Like no, we don't like that idea. And that it then becomes that you could do anything you want to the traditionalist / conservative. How dare you oppose our ideas? We now can do anything we want to you. And that's going to become, Americans don't like that kind of, they don't like people like that. It's just the way that we're built. Because at some point somebody realizes, like, once you do that to that person, you're going to turn and you're going to face me and you're going to make me do whatever you want. Because you don't really have principles, you're just coercive. And the left can't handle this idea that they are fundamentally an abusive mother, a drug-addled abusive mom, a drug-addled abusive girlfriend to American society. That an unprincipled and willing to do anything, destroy everything in the house, burn it down, just, and that, you never know. So you're always dealing with trying to assuage the suicidal viper that's in your midst. Yeah, there we go. Suicidal vipers.